Hi, welcome back to Restoration Design. My name is Adam Sharp, and for those of you that are new here, we are a rust repair panel company. We provide quality panels to repair your old classic Porsches, and we also do the BMW 02 series. Today we're going to be working on the P236 AL, which is the left side. Right here we have our Pink Pig, which is a 1966 912. Nothing special, but it's still classic, and we want to bring it back to life. It's been to many shows, it's seen all kinds of rain, and it's starting to get a little worse. So we're going to do some work on the front corner here. This is a new panel to our company. We used to purchase this panel here before we started making it. We've been troubleshooting it like crazy these last couple of weeks to try and provide an accurate part for everybody to restore their car. This part here goes on 65 to 68. One of the things that we're trying to do here is to provide individual panels for the different years. Some of the other companies, they provide a standard panel that they say is for all cars, but really it's not. It's only for like the 65 to the 68. Any feedback that we can get on our parts, we love it. This part in particular here, right now on our website, it's provided as a blank panel. You'll notice that there is a stud here, a nut here, and a couple of wire harness straps. And on the other side here, we have the bumper bracket mount, which is P202, which we are also going to be providing on the panel. So this is a part that we're currently working on. Once again, feedback would always be great. I've prepped the panel. I've taken care of putting holes into the flange for all my rosette welds. After I was finished welding everything on, I coated the panel with a weld-through primer. But that's something that we've done in the past many times, and I have a bit of a trouble with the butt weld. It tends to spit a bit. So before I actually put it on, I'm going to grind a little bit of this primer off. To continue with the prep work that I did, as you can see here, there's some pretty crafty framework that's in here. This is just added structure to try and help keep the car in place, because we're taking a major component of the structure out here. We don't want anything to move. So I've braced it side to side, front to back, up and down. Not to mention that the bracing of this was kind of difficult because there's been some prep work done to this car already. The gas tank support has just been screwed in, and for the most part the suspension pan is just screwed in as well. So I've been checking my measurements like crazy. We've got all kinds of new drawings that we've got to go by, which we'll also be providing on our website if any of you guys need some measurements. For those of you that measure in inches, you're going to have to do some converting because everything is in millimeters. Also, I'd like to point out this tube right here is for your hood latch. Now, when I was prepping my panel here and cutting it out, I accidentally cut into it a little bit, which isn't really that big of a deal because I was able to tack it up with the welder because I didn't sever it completely off. But because I cut into it, we have to replace the cable that goes inside it. Oops. Once I got along to cutting out the part on the car, I used my panel and I trimmed my panel. Like I said before, I did all the prep work. So I've trimmed my panel to where I wanted to cut out on the car. And then I put it in place on the car, and I used a scribe, and I scribed a line down there. Once I cut it off, I used the grinder to hone it in. Once I had everything clamped in place, I then used my tape measure and a few other neat tools that I got to be able to measure the location of our bumper bracket mounts and also the holes for our fender mount. So I'm going to put my panel in place here, try and get it back to where I had it before while I was doing all my prep. So I'm using a couple little pieces of sheet metal just to make sure that the alignment here of the top edge of the inner fender stays right. Now I'm not really adjusting it right now, I'm just kind of snugging it in until I get the rest of the panel on. because I already had this in place once, so this should be easy. Let's get it back in place. When I was fitting this piece on here, I do use a dolly in the corner here because these cars aren't perfectly this symmetrical, the same. Everyone is a little bit different. So in order to get this flange to meet up with the suspension pan, I had to hammer up on an angle here with a dolly just to kind of punch the flange in so that it met nice and tight so that I get a good firm weld in there. Now that we're back in place where I had it before, I can show you some of the measurements that I use to be able to check to make sure that my positioning of my holes and everything and my bumper mount bracket here to be able to make sure that they're all in the right place. These are new drawings. We have this measurement right in here, which is 670 millimeters. I converted it to 26 3/8 of an inch. That measurement goes from the stud at the front of the bumper mount bracket to that inner wall underneath the flange there. I'm not exactly sure how to explain that spot. We can show it to you over here on the car. This inner wall here is the zero plane of the car. So your measurement goes from here out to the inside of your bumper mount bracket. Now I've indicated the inside of the panel here with a mark, which I painted over now, to tell me where the stud was on the outside of the car so that I could make my measurement. So I'm just doing a final check measurement here of my front end before I start tacking it. And it's supposed to be 31 15/16 from where the imperforation is here, this right corner here to this corner over here, outside to outside, and that'll give you your gap for your hood, or well, it'll help anyway. And we're right on there. It's nice. I'm happy with it, so I think we should get some tacking done here. I'm gonna grab a couple more clamps. Off just a little bit here. I know I can get it better. There it is. Definitely. Those butt clamps really help keep that gap in there for you so that your weld can penetrate nicely. So I'm going to start tacking up here at the front corner, but I think I'm going to jump from the top to the bottom here so that when the weld starts to cool, it doesn't pull this way or this way. I got one on the top and the bottom. Not going to be doing any welding across the front because the P230 across the front here is going to be replaced probably right after I do the other side of the 236. Now I keep saying 236 because what they call this part is almost a tongue twister. It's a inner fender front repair panel for the 68 to 65. So anyways, our 236 here is going to get welded in, tack at the top and the bottom. Need my dolly. Then I should be just about ready to weld that solid through. I might put a few more clamps on the front here just because there's no material left from this 230 on the front. You'll find with the galvanneal steel that it does tend to pop a little bit because of the zinc in the steel, but this steel lasts years and years and years longer than any of the steel that's provided for cars today. All right, we're gonna take care of the body of the welding and finish up this butt weld. And I'm gonna finish my rosette welds along the bottom there. I need to make that solid so that we can move to the inside of the car and take care of the flange that's coming off of the gas tank support. All right, just finished up taking care of the butt weld and the rosette welds along the bottom. As you can see, my weld here along the panel is nice and evenly heated. Try and keep it cool with the air. Also, this flange that's down in here, I got to do some hammer into it and get it in nice and tight now that this panel here is secured properly. I can get in there and hammer on it without it moving and migrating. Okay, now that the flange is in there nice and tight, I could get in there and finish the rest of my rosette welds along the edge of this part where the gas tank support is. Okay, that panel's in there pretty solid. Gonna grab my grinder and try and take down some of the MIG weld on the outside of it a little bit there just to make it nice and pretty. The grinding is taken care of. We've got the panel secured in place. It's not completely finished yet because we still have our 230 in the front to do. But we can take care of protecting this by putting some of the weld-through primer on for now. There's going to be more work done to this. Like I said before, we got the other section, 236C, that's coming off here that we're going to finish this little weld in here by putting a new piece all the way across to here. I don't think we'll go all the way. The piece on the other side, we just did to the inside here. We came up to about this level right here with it and then chopped it right in there. Well, thanks guys for joining us here at Restoration Design on the almost complete installation of our 236 AL. We are going to be finishing the other side as well. Join us for videos to take care of P230. We also have the ST. The ST, I'm sure everybody's looking forward to seeing that. We've got a brand new select table coming with a brand new, almost completely renovated rust repair area, making ourselves more available for people to bring in their classic cars and have the rust and the steel taken care of by professionals. Once again, on behalf of Restoration Design, I'd like to thank you for joining us. If you liked what you see or if you have any comments or suggestions for us, please visit our website. And we look forward to seeing you in our next upcoming videos.